welcome to Tales by Aunty Femi, where we will be telling tales from all parts of the world. I am Aunty Femi, and today's story is Why the Tortoise Has Got a Cracked Shell. Do you think you know why? Well, I don't know. So why not come along with me to the story world, bring in your imagination, and we can all listen to this story together. Once upon a time in the animal kingdom, there was famine. The plants and fruits were not growing. The animals were starving because they could not harvest anything to eat. Only the birds were looking extremely healthy compared to the rest of the other animals in the kingdom. One day, the tortoise was in his house with his wife, polishing his shell, and said to his wife, "Have you noticed how the birds are looking so healthy?" He asked his wife. Yes, so you noticed too. They are looking so much robust than everyone else. I am going to find out their ways. Or are we not from this same kingdom anymore? What are they doing that we are not all doing? I mean, how can they be the only one in this entire kingdom looking that healthy? Eh, I wonder, or are they not your friends anymore? I do not see why they will keep that from you. Only one way to find out, my dear. Only one way. He dashed out quickly to look for the birds where they are always gathering. While on his way, he met some flock of birds, talking and laughing, and he approached them. As soon as the birds saw him getting closer to where they were, they all went quiet and tried to fly away. They are aware of his antics and tricky ways. As soon as the tortoise noticed they were trying to get away from him, he rushed into their midst and pleaded with them not to leave. Please, my feather friends, do not leave because of me. I am only here to ask for all your help. Please stay. At least hear me out first. Oh, Tortoise, what could you possibly want from us this time around? The flamingo asked, rolling her eyes.
Yes, Tortoise, what do you want?
Asked the raven.
We hope you're not up to your annoying tricks again, like you always do. You are always up to no good, and nobody trusts you.
Not at all. Please, my friends, hear me out. Look at me. I am so lean up, and my beautiful shell is not sparkly anymore like before. Because there is no more food in our kingdom, nothing has grown, and nothing to harvest since this famine. Look everywhere. All the other animals are starving and lean, except for you birds. You are flourishing. Look at your feathers, all fluffed and beautiful, he said, touching the peacock's feathers. You can say that again, said the peacock, displaying his full colorful feathers. I look rather astounding, he said arrogantly, checking himself out. The tortoise soon interrupted the peacock and asked if they can help him and share where they get all their food from. Please, my feather friends, show me where you feed from. Maybe I can look healthy and be as robust as you birds. The birds kept silent and stared at each other. Then the hummingbird pointed at him, looking straight into his eyes, and asked,
Tortoise, are you up to your cunning ways again?
Ah, no, not at all. He promised he was not being cunning, but only concerned as he has nothing to feed on anymore, and desperate for food. He cried and pleaded, and promised to be in his best behavior if they can show him the way. The birds gathered, and had a meeting amongst themselves. And they all agreed that they would help him. They told him of the divinely heavenly feast they had been enjoying, and it is only available to creatures with wings.
Wings. Ah. Look at me. I have not got any wings, and that will be difficult. I will not be able to fly to the heavens and eat some of the divinely heavenly feasts that you birds had been enjoying and talking about.
Suddenly, an idea popped into his head like a light bulb. He asked the birds,
um, do not mind me, but just one wish I would ask for. Could you all lend me a feather each to attach to my shell to make some wings so I can also fly like you birds?
The birds looked at each other and agreed to grant his wish. They each gave him a feather, and soon he was able to make wings out of them and attach them to his shell. Now the tortoise has wings and could fly. He looked well pleased with himself. He could not wait to get to the heavens to have some delicious feast. As he was about to fly, the chicken stopped him and said to him,
And one more thing you must know. We all have a unique name that we are all called. And since you are new with us, you will need to come up with your own unique name. And that is the name you will be called when you get to heavens.
after some thought, the tortoise said to them,
I would like to be addressed as everyone.
the birds looked at each other and agreed that it was okay, and they flew together with him. When they got to heavens, the aroma of the feast filled the air. The banquet table had displayed varieties of beautiful dishes from all over. The host had welcomed them and asked everyone to sit, eat, drink, and be merry. The tortoise got too excited and quickly rushed to the table. The birds also took their position without minding his behavior. As they were about to take their portion of the food, the tortoise shouted,
Stop! Have you all forgotten so soon? Hmm? The host welcomed everyone to the table before he said, sit, eat, drink, and be merry. Now, do you all remember my unique name?
the birds chorused, everyone.
Yes, and that is me, which means all these feasts are for me, myself, and I alone. So, if you could excuse me, I, I mean, everyone, as that is my unique name now, has some delicious, divinely heavenly feast to finish.
The other animals were so angry and watched furiously as he ate the food meant for them all. The tortoise ate and ate. He bobbed out so loud and drank so much until he was unable to move. He finished all the food without offering any to his friends. The more he ate, the brighter his shell sparkled. The birds were hungry and disappointed by his attitude and manners. They gathered themselves and vowed that the tortoise must be punished. They agreed to take back each of the feathers of him and leave him in the heavens. And one by one, the birds plucked each of the feathers off the tortoise, angrily leaving him with no feathers left. And he soon realized, oh no, there is no how he could get home because the birds had overtaken their feathers. He began to plead with them not to leave him behind, because he would not be able to fly back home without any wings.
Oh, really? You should have thought of that before feasting on all the food,
Said Flamingo.
I mean, how could just one of you finish all that feast? Look at your tummy. It is so big and your shell all sparkly. I do not wish to be your friend anymore. You cannot be trusted. You are greedy, you are selfish, and you deceived all of us. All the birds agreed with Flamingo. How could you do that to us? I thought we were all friends, said the peacock. Go away, Tortoise, he said angrily, and flew away. All the other birds followed the peacock and fly out one by one, leaving only him behind. When he saw there was no other way he could get home, he decided to jump and use the clouds as his cushion. But on his way down, he slipped and fell on the hardest and sharpest object on landing, and cracked his beautiful sparkly shell into many pieces. Seeing what had happened to the tortoise, the birds felt incredibly sad for him and what they had done to him. They offered to help him pick the pieces of his broken shell one after the other, and promised to find him the best doctor in the entire kingdom to help fix his shell back. Unfortunately, his shell had broken into too many pieces and could not be fixed again. And that is why the tortoise had a cracked shell. The end. Oh wow! I hope you enjoy that story. Poor Tortoise. He lost his shell because he was greedy and because he was selfish. I hope you learned that, because when you're greedy and selfish, nobody wants to be friends with people that don't like to share. It's good to always share, isn't it? And also, we need to be careful with our words. We need to be careful with our actions, because the bird's actions cost the tortoise his beautiful shell. It's not good to be mean even when the other person is mean to you. Let's always show kindness to each other. Unfortunately, the tortoise couldn't get his shell back. And that shows that when you hurt somebody with your actions or your words, you hurt their feelings. And when you hurt their feelings, they can't get that feeling back because you knock down their confidence. So let's always be mindful of our actions and our words. Don't be selfish, don't be mean, and don't be greedy. And I hope you will join me in our next set story time with Tales by Aunty Femi. Thank you for joining in. And please subscribe to this channel and click the notification button so you can get all the stories and everything that comes on this channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed today's story. Stay kind.